Mule Creek State Prison would first open its doors in 1987 and today houses more than 3,800 minimum, medium, and max security custody individuals. Yesterday, on July 7th, 2025, at approximately 8:30 a.m., incarcerated individual James Johnson, serving a life sentence for first-degree murder, would allegedly begin attacking a corrections counselor as the counselor entered the housing unit. And although staff was able to stop the attack with chemical agents, they were able to also find an improvised weapon found at the scene. Just another example of how dangerous CDCR has truly become for not only inmates, but staff as well.
Are investigating an attack on a peace officer at Mule Creek State Prison in Ione as an attempted homicide. This morning, inmate James Johnson allegedly attacked a correctional counselor as he entered the housing unit. Staff used chemical agents to quickly stop the attack. An improvised weapon was also found at the scene. The counselor was taken to an outside medical facility. He is expected to be okay.
Looking at California's prison initiative, a new one that prioritizes rehabilitation over punishment. Yesterday, if you recall, we got an inside look at the last days of death row at San Quentin, all part of a larger effort to reshape the state's prison system overall. And today, in part two of our series, we take a deeper look at what people are calling the California model, an effort to rehabilitate general population prisoners. The initiative offers inmates who demonstrate good behavior programs from therapy to sign language classes to coding. Joining us now is contributor Gianna Taboni. Gianna, we liked yesterday's report. We're looking forward to this one. Good morning.
Good morning, Tony. I've been working on a book about the death penalty in America titled The Volunteer, and at a recent family event, I introduced myself to Governor Gavin Newsom. We have a family connection. He agreed to an interview, and back in April, we visited 2 state prisons to witness how he is implementing California's new approach to incarceration.
When I first came to prison, I couldn't be honest with myself about what I had done. I have caused the end of someone's life, murdered someone.
These incarcerated women are trying to get to the root of why they committed crimes, to avoid reoffending in the future. Therapy groups like this one are part of the California model, a taxpayer-funded initiative being rolled out across 8 prisons statewide, prioritizing rehabilitation and education. California's Governor Gavin Newsom says his goal is to prevent people from coming back into the system.
There are people that absolutely never should be released. Absolutely. I believe that in my core. There are people that absolutely should be released, but are not prepared yet to be released because they're not fully rehabilitated.
The initiative, which offers everything from job training to dog handling, is based on a model from Norway. Leading the charge is Newsom's prisons chief, Jeff McCumber, who started his career as a guard.
Back when you were an officer, would you have been on board with something like this?
No. I didn't have the vision back then that I do now. And, a lot of people say, why are you doing this? Why should you spend money for incarcerated to go to college? And I say, well, it's costing you a lot more to keep people in prison and people coming back, and I don't want to create more crime victims out there.
He thinks the approach will also keep prison guards safer, a group with a suicide rate 39% higher than other professions.
If I could reduce violent behavior by the incarcerated, staff assault rate goes down, injuries go down. When Norway started their change, it took them 10 to 20 years. So it's going to take time, but we're going to get there.
But getting there is not only going to take time, but buy-in from correctional staff.
Many of these correctional officers have also been assaulted by inmates. Is everybody on board?
Not everybody. I mean, no one's naive, but this couldn't be done without them. We said, you're going to be around that table making decisions with us.
We wanted to know what the guards think about the California model. We sat down with a few of them and their boss.
When I first heard about it, like a lot of us, it was met with skepticism.
I thought it was a great opportunity to just treat people like people, treat them like humans. What happens if we give them that respect? Do they give it back?
Probably 95% of our population's going to get out, and I feel like our job as peace officers is what are we providing to that person to not create more victims.
Here's a picture of Kyle and I playing up in the snow. This is before I married his mom. And here we are, the 3 of us, Kyle and his mom and myself. Those were definitely good times.
John Sperry's stepson, Kyle Myrick, was beaten to death by a coworker when he was just 28 years old. His killer is now serving 15 years to life.
There are a lot of people who have been convicted of murder in this state who are now gaining access to rehabilitative programs. What are your thoughts on that?
I do feel like the California model is chipping away at the justice that we're supposed to receive. And perpetrators, they serve some time, and now their time in prison is going to be even easier. So how is that justice?
Do you feel that people who are convicted of murder, do they deserve a second chance?
I don't think they're going to be fixed by any amount of dog training or horse petting or any other therapies that they offer. I think they're probably just beyond that.
What is the experience of having to mourn a child?
It's absolutely horrific. Even before I knew for sure that Kyle was dead, and we were searching for him, it was so painful just to be alone with my thoughts, and it hurts everyone that he knew. It's really just brutal.
Does the pain ever go away?
No.
There are family members who have lost loved ones who say these people should exist in punitive environments.
Yeah.
Right? They shouldn't get these privileges. And what do you say to them?
Look, no one's arguing that folks should be released that have committed heinous and horrible crimes that have been sentenced or condemned. In that context, I'm deeply empathetic to the victims. And look, not all the victims are on board, but many are.
The state argues the California model is about public safety. Washington and Oregon are adopting similar initiatives, and Jeff McCumber believes other states will follow.
Do you think this will drive national policy?
Yes, I do, and I think this is where we're headed.
What do you say to folks who are maybe in other parts of the country who are looking at this and saying, what are these California liberals doing? This must be a political strategy.
We're doing this because we think it works. 90% of the folks that are incarcerated here and throughout California are going to go back out and be on the streets. Do you want those folks to have a job, maybe get treated for mental illness while they're here, maybe get the education then have the opportunity for? That if we know those individuals have a 20, 25, 30% lesser chance of coming to the prison, why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I try that?
When I was with Secretary McCumber there at the prison, he told me about when he was a warden at a high incident facility, so a place where there's a lot of violence, and he noticed that the folks who were in the classroom were not the ones causing trouble. And then when he got the top post, the data reflected his personal experience, which I thought was very interesting. Nate?
Gianna, thank you. Wow, that is eye-opening.
It is eye-opening, and then you can't help but think what that father was saying, though.
Yeah, the families of the victims.
Yeah, I get the idea of rehabilitation, preventing future victims.
Yes.
It does save money. You don't warehouse people. It respects human dignity. But, man, when you sit in that father's chair, you feel differently.
Yeah, but I am conflicted.
Yeah,
because if 95% of prisoners are going to be released, then what are we doing to rehabilitate?
Rehabilitate. Yeah, I've often heard they go into prison and sometimes they come out worse than when they went in. It only makes you a better criminal. So clearly something needs to be done. I'm not quite sure what the answer is.
Yeah, it's eye-opening, though.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Really great.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. Another episode of Green Lit Gang TV. Much love, much appreciation, and thank you guys so much for checking out the channel today. It means a lot that you are here. Really quick, before we jump into it, let's do the intros. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I really do appreciate you being here and hope you enjoy it. If you do like the video, go back, check out some other content, check out some other videos, and really let me know what you think. I do respond to all feedback. Guys, if you're a returning member, individual, subscriber to this channel, then you already know how much you mean to me. I'm nothing without the people that continue to support this channel. And I know sometimes you guys hear me say that over and over again. But that's because it's true. I really don't know how else to put it. I'm humbled by it. I really, when I started my channel almost 2 years ago, did not think, I had hoped that I would be in this position someday. You know, I was beyond when I hit 20,000 subscribers. So truly, I'm in a position now where I'm really just grateful. And it's honestly because of the people that continue to watch my videos. That's the only reason. So again, thank you guys. And lastly, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, hit the like button, hit the comment button, engage in some conversation, and smash the subscribe button. Let's go. What's going on, you guys? Okay, so today's video, a little bit of a short one today. Just wanted to update you guys on an attack that happened yesterday at Mule Creek State Prison. Some of these attacks that are happening, these murders, attempted murders, I want to bring to you guys in a quicker fashion. I'm always going to cover stories that I find interesting, no matter how old they are. I still get comments going, hey man, how come we're covering stuff from the 1990s or from 2005? Because it's interesting. It's because it's still an interesting story that I feel like needs to be told. But that being said, I do want to keep up with current events. This attack happened yesterday in the morning, like I said in the intro, at Mule Creek State Prison. The last bit of news I saw out of Mule Creek State Prison was actually the women that got killed in the visiting area. There was one that got killed, I think, during like a conjugal visit, and another one, kind of a similar attack that took place during a visitation. That's kind of the last bit of news I really remember coming out of Mule Creek State Prison. But this involves not a corrections officer. I don't want people to get that confused. It's a corrections counselor. And I went on to the CDCR's website just to kind of look up, okay, well, what is the role of a CDCR counselor? And this is what their definition is. Correctional counselors play a crucial role in the rehabilitation and reintegration of incarcerated individuals. They are responsible for a variety of tasks, including inmate classification, counseling, program planning, and ensuring the safety and security of the correctional facility. And then this is from the CDCR's main website. They released this article later in the day because, like I said, the attack happened at 8:30 a.m. So we're going to read from that really quick. California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation officials are investigating an attack on a peace officer at Mule Creek State Prison as an attempted homicide. On July 7th, 2025, at approximately 8:30 a.m., incarcerated person James Johnson allegedly attacked a correctional counselor as the counselor entered the housing unit. Staff used chemical agents to quickly quell the attack, and an improvised weapon was found at the scene. The counselor was immediately taken to the triage and treatment area and then transported to an outside medical facility. He is currently in good condition. Johnson was placed in restricted housing pending investigation into the case. MCSP officials are currently investigating the incident. The case will also be referred to the Amador County District Attorney's Office for possible felony prosecution. The facility where the incident occurred is on modified programming to complete a 24-hour threat assessment. Peer support and other support services are being offered to employees. Basically, that means you're going to have employees that are traumatized. You're going to have people that are working within the prison, and they're going to go, do I want to deal with that shit? I understand if they go, you know what, this isn't worth, and I even looked up what their pay is, trying to give you guys as much info as possible. It says a corrections counselor can make anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 a month. So honestly, not really a bad gig. But again, with the way CDCR is becoming, with the violence continuing to ratchet up, is it worth your life? Is it worth an attempt on your life? Is it worth being, maybe you're not killed, but maybe in this case, you lose an eye, you're physically maimed. That stuff changes people. That's why they're having these peer support. They're going to downplay it in the news. That's why they're going to put it in the fourth paragraph. It's just, yep, we're offering help. But you're going to have people, when you walk into the prison, I don't care what anyone says, your nerves jump up a little bit. No matter how long you've worked there, you're going to be on alert. You're going to be aware. And especially after an incident like this, you got to just kind of picture this for a minute. It's 8:30 in the morning. So you got this counselor probably showing up for his shift. He walks into the housing unit. James Johnson, the guy's been down for a long time. He was convicted for a 1997 homicide. I was able to go online, was not able to find any appeals, any really deep info on his case. I just know that he committed the murder in 1997. He got convicted in 2003. And he's had violations ever since, been in and out of the system. He did get out at one point and then basically committed a parole violation and was sent back to prison. But regardless, this is an individual that this counselor has probably come across, that this counselor has probably worked with. And for whatever reason, he shows up to work, and on this day, Inmate Johnson decides that I'm going to try to kill him. And he's not able to succeed. But, what about the next time? Or what about the next inmate? What about the next worker? And again, I get it. Someone listening right now could say, hey, man, this is what they sign up for. And I totally agree. Same with the corrections officer. This is what they sign up for. You know what you're getting when you decide to work at a max security prison, minimum to max custody. But regardless, it's still going to affect you. It's still going to affect that individual and the individuals around them. So I kind of want to know, the question of the day is this. What do you guys think about, how do I word it? What do you guys think the punishment should be for someone who attacks a corrections officer or counselor? And here's the big question. Do you feel bad when a corrections officer or a corrections employee gets attacked? Let's put it like that. Do you feel bad when a corrections officer or like a nurse, a counselor, an administrator, if they get attacked? What are your thoughts on that? Leave that in the comments below. Again, guys, just want to bring you the news. Stuff like this, updates, breaking news like this. I'm going to make these short little videos for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. Until next time, you already know what it is. Peace.